Hi everyone, my name's Liz and welcome to my booktube channel. I'm just now starting this booktube channel. I have been wanting to start one for, it seems like forever. I love everything that has to do with reading. I love books. I love organizing bookshelves. I love just reading vlogs. I always follow everything on YouTube when it comes to reading vlogs and books and TBRs and all of that kind of stuff. And I'm just really looking forward to starting a channel so I can meet some people and also share my love for books. I don't have that many friends or family in my life who enjoy reading, so it's really hard for me to talk to people about books. So I'm excited to joining this booktube community and hopefully meet some people and learn some more things about books and share my love for books. So for my first video, I thought it would be fun to do kind of a bookshelf reorganization video. As you can see, I did fall into the trend of rainbow color organization for my bookshelf. I have all of my TBR books down here. I have more, but that's just what I could fit for now. And then over to the side is books that I am trying to sell. And then moving on up, I have all my black and dark books. I have all my white and light colored books. And then I just kind of started up the rainbow all the way up to the top. And I try to mix in not just books, but also some decor pieces because I just don't want it to just be straight books. I want it to look really pretty too. So I've also added some fake plants and picture frames, a clock, random knickknacks and stuff I've collected over the years and stuff. But I really like how it looks. However, as you can see, it's very full. So I need to do some rearranging, but also it's really hard for me to find books and also to put books into the bookshelf, the ones that I finish. So I just need to go back to what I know. I used to have it where I had it organized by genre and like authors. I kept authors together, series together. And I feel like I need to go back to that because this is just really inconvenient for everything else. It looks nice, but it's just really inconvenient. If I had a bigger bookshelf, I think I would stick with this. But for now, since my bookshelf is smaller and I don't have as much space, I just need to go back to what I know and try to find a system that works better than what I have now. So I am gonna go ahead and just take everything off. I'm gonna clean the bookshelf, take off the decor. I have some like spring, obviously there's this bunny from Easter that I need to take off. There's certain stuff that I kind of want to pull off the shelf and put somewhere else because it just doesn't make sense. I kind of put it there for the time being because I didn't know where else to put it. I just put it on there. So I'm gonna try to reorganize it and find a better system. I'm gonna lay all my books out and try to get them back to the authors that they belong to, the genres that they belong to, and then I will just take you guys along with me. I will give updates as I go, explain my process to the best of my ability, and show you guys the end result. But for now, here it is. This is the before, and here we go. Well, let's get started. All right, so we've made progress. Everything is off the shelf. Looks very empty and kind of sad, but everything is now off and everything is now on my bed. So now I think I'm just gonna go through, figure out, actually no, now I'm gonna dust my bookshelf because it seems like it never gets completely cleaned because when I clean, I kind of wipe around the stacks of books. It's way more trouble than it's worth taking it off every time I clean my room. So now's the time to do a nice deep cleaning of the bookshelf, and then I will get into organizing all my books that are currently stacked on my bed and putting them in the right piles. Stay tuned. Oh, gross. This is a lot. I'm running out of room. So I actually have this pretty well organized. I'm gonna call this organized chaos. I have it, well, most authors are together, like if it's a series or whatever, I have them together. Oh. And then I tried to kind of separate it by genre. Obviously, there's not this many genres on my shelf, but I'm gonna try to organize them a little bit better and start slowly putting them on the shelf and see if I can find like a system that will work for me. We'll see. Wish me luck. think I have it to where I like it. So this is now the after, and you can just already tell, or at least I can, that there's so much more space once I reorganized things and actually put them in different piles and have tweaked it around a little bit. But I actually really like how it turned out. I did do it by genre, and I made sure that certain authors I kept together, just depending on who they were. If they're like one of my favorite authors, I made sure they stayed together, or if it's more like a spicy romance or more of like a YA fiction, then I try to keep those kind of books together. But yeah, so here's what it looks like. I gotta say, I actually love it. I'm glad I have it back to the way I used to have it, because the way I used to have it was just so much easier to keep track of things. It was so much easier to put books away and to find books and just make sure that I could keep certain series together. So I'm really happy that I'm going back to this. It'll just be so much easier this summer because I have so many books that I'm planning on reading, and I'm gonna have to find a way to put them away. And before, I could not fit anything. So I did do something a little bit different. I actually took some books off. So before, down below, I had all of my books that I was in the process of selling, and also some TBR books as well. So both of these two bottom shelves used to be that, and now I have just all of my mystery thriller type books down below. So I think it just looks so much better and so much more neat. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna find a different place to put all of the books I'm selling, because obviously I don't want them on my bookshelf if I'm trying to get rid of them, or trying to make money off of them. So I'm going to find a different place in my room for those. And then also I'm going to try to create like a TBR cart. I have a bar cart that I used when I was in college in my apartment, and I think I'm just going to use that because it'll just be so much easier if I can keep all those books together where I can see them and pull from it whenever I need to. Since I'm reading books so quickly, I need to be able to easily get to them. And before, they were down below, kind of forgotten about. So I think this will help me. Instead of going out and buying new books all the time, I can actually read the ones that I own currently, and also try to get rid of some certain books. If I see the books I'm trying to sell, I feel like I'll just be more motivated to try to sell them or give them away to friends or family who I think would enjoy them. So that's what I think I'm gonna do with that. So that did give me some space on this bookshelf, but I honestly think that because I was able to arrange it the way I did with like the keeping series together and authors together, it just looks so much more neat, and I actually have space now, which I love. That gets me excited because now I know I can fit new books, especially since I just bought a ton of books. So I'm really excited. So currently, with how I organize my bookshelf, these are all of my mystery thriller books. I did try to keep certain authors together. Like you can see Lisa Jewels all together. I have Lucy Foley. I have Vincent Ralph. I have Natalie D. Richards. So like all those authors, those are all like a couple books by the same author. And then over here, same thing. I have Shari LaPenna, however you say her name. And just these are all like my hardcover ones. So I wanted to keep those all together because they just look nice together. And then also some single paperback books as well. So those are all my mystery thriller type books. My next bookshelf, I have some of these books are like kind of based on fairy tales, or they're more like a fantasy type, horror type book. So I wanted to keep those together. So these three are like that. And then this is kind of miscellaneous. I have some literary fiction down below, but then I also have two of my classics that I've collected. So I have Persuasion by Jane Austen, and I also have Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery. So I wanted to keep my classics together as well as with my literary fiction, and I just felt like those belong together. On top of that, I do have like a little diffuser thing that I've actually gotten from Magnolia. The next bookshelf I have, these are also, I have a little picture of me and my cat, but behind that, I do have some of my like more dark romance books. So Emily McIntyre, I kept those all together that are also based on fantasy, like storybook characters. Then I have all my Anna Huang books, so the Twisted series, and then also her new release, King of Wrath. I'm excited to read King of Pride that is coming out, I think later this year at some point. So I'm excited to read that. And then I have all my Lauren Asher, the Fine Print series, or the Dreamland Billionaire series. I love that series, so I wanted to make sure that they were all together. And then I also have a couple other more spicier romance. I want to read more of Mariana Zapata, her books, at some point this year. I did have The Wall of Winnipegamy, but that was one that I didn't love, so I did sell it, so I don't have it anymore. But I'm hoping I can add to my collection of Mariana Zapata, because I know she's just a really good author, very well known, and a lot of people like her books. I have Brutal Prince, which is more of like a mafia type love romance series that's started. I am going to be reading more in that series, but at the moment I just have the first one. And then I have Tessa Bailey, her It Happened One Summer, and Hook, Line, and Sinker. Those are more spicy romances, so I wanted to keep that on that shelf as well. Moving on, this shelf is kind of miscellaneous. It's all romance, but they're just like standalones, and well, except for the Taylor Jenkins Reid's books over here, but they're all standalones at the moment, so I wanted to just keep this shelf just kind of random. They're all romance, but I just wanted to keep them all together. And then I have my little book journal and my other journal just sitting on top, so it's easy for me to grab from it, because I do grab those like almost daily, so I wanted to put an easy place for me to get to. My next shelf, I have all of my Christina Lauren books that I own at the moment. I am going to be getting her new release soon, I think Soulmate Experiment or something like that, but really excited to add that to this side. And then I have Abby Jimenez. I am going to be reading more of her books this summer, so I'm excited to add to her stack because I love her books, her writing. Then I have Sarah Desi, or however you say her name. I love this trilogy. I mean, you can read them. They're all standalones. Like, you can honestly read them by themselves, but they're so good. You do get kind of glimpses of a couple characters in at least the first two books, so The Marriage Game and The Dating Plan. So I do really enjoy that, and it's just a really cute story, all three of them, so good. And then I have Elena Armas, her Spanish Love Deception, and The American Roommate Experiment. So I want to keep those together. These books all kind of remind me of, like, the writing styles very similar, so I wanted to make sure those all stayed together. And the next shelf, as I'm getting closer to the top, I have all my Lucy Score books. So this shelf is like all of my favorite authors, like all my favorite romance authors, and most of them are part of a series or at least in the same universe, so I wanted to make sure they all stay together. So I have all of the Lucy Score books I own at the moment. I have the 3 Emily Henry books that have been released, and then I'm waiting to do Happy Place this summer. Then I have all of Allie Hazelwood's books that she has, and I'm really excited for her new release coming out soon. And I have all my Colleen Hoover. I do have actually more Colleen Hoover books, but they're all on my Nook because I bought them so long ago, and they're all digital. So I don't have the physical copies of those, but these are the ones that I was able to actually buy a physical copy. I think eventually in the future I might buy the physical copies of the rest of the books just to put them all together, because I do love Colleen Hoover. She has great books, but this is just all I have at the moment, so I want to make sure those stay together. And then Lynn Painter, I absolutely love Better Than the Movies, and I think it's one of my all-time favorite YA romances. I probably will reread it very soon because it's just such a good book, and I'm really excited for the next one that is coming out. I will definitely buy that once it is available. And then I am planning on buying The Love Wager hopefully soon, which is one of her new adult romances, so I'm excited about that one too. And last but not least, my last bookshelf, or my last shelf that is at the top. This is all kind of like YA, college, sports, romances. Just, I wanted to keep all like the cutesy romances together because like the rest of them obviously are more spicy and new adult, but these are all like the more young adult. There's no spice, and I just wanted to make sure I kept them together. So I do have Elle Kennedy, the 3 that I own at the moment. I think eventually I'll get the Bad Girl Reputation, I think is what it's called, but the second book after Good Girl Complex. I'm not sure when, but I'm hoping to eventually read that book. And then I know Icebreaker, the second book, I think is coming out later this year, so I'm really excited for that. And then the rest of them, I know Sarah Adams has some new ones. I'll probably try to read those sometime soon. Then I have the Inheritance Games series. I want to keep those together. And then Mafiosa, that's a 3rd book of a random series that I started. That was actually on my Nook, so I only have the 3rd one as a physical copy. Probably eventually I'll try to get the first two, but at the moment, that's all I have. And then up at the top, this is more of my cute shelf that I actually tried to decorate. So I have a little picture of me and two of my best friends. I have a little canvas of Make Heaven Crowded. This I absolutely love. This is one of the, what are those called? One of those things where you can like actually stamp your initials in your book, like on the front page or whatever. And I actually got this as a gift for Christmas and I absolutely love it. Every single book that is on the shelf that I'm planning on keeping for the foreseeable future has my like initial stamped in it, and I absolutely love it. Every time I finish a book, I get so excited because I get to use this. But I just leave that up there. And then the rest of the books that are up here, these are all more like religion type books. These three right here, these are actually books that I made, these little notebook journals. I had a bookbinding class when I was in college, so I actually made those three. But then the rest of the books that are over here, they're pretty much, well, most of them are about religion and that kind of thing. So I wanted to make sure I kept those all together. And then up here, this is where I get all my free bookmarks anytime I go to a bookstore. So I have plenty of bookmarks in here to like share with people. I've already given away some to people who just needed one. So that's my little bookmark collection that I keep adding to. And that is my bookshelf. I absolutely love it. I'm hoping to one day be able to get a bigger one, obviously, because I will outgrow this probably within the next year. But I'm just so excited to have a bookshelf in my room. My room is very small, so being able to fit this was just amazing. I absolutely love it. And I love how it's different. It's not like the straight across shelves. Like I like how it's staggered, even though it is kind of hard to stack more books on it. It takes up more space, but it's just so cute and I love it so much. Yeah, I hope that you all enjoyed my little bookshelf organization video. Hopefully it gave you some ideas for what you could maybe do for your future bookshelf, or if you have one, maybe it'll motivate you to reorganize or decorate it in a cute way. I am planning on posting more videos this summer. I'm going to try to stick with this because this is something that I feel like I would really enjoy, and I'm really passionate about books and reading. And so I'm going to try to stick with this, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, subscribe, all that fun stuff that people always say. And I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.